Hi, Object Show friendos. How are you all doing? I hope you've had an awesome week and you're feeling great. But, if you ain't, I hope things pick up for you. We have got some awesome things to talk about this week. We've got a whole bunch of stuff, actually. But isn't that the case every week? I think it is. Object Show community never slows down, doesn't stop for anybody or anything. So let's just get cracking straight in with this because we've got a brand new episode of something to talk about and a whole bunch of updates from creators and an update from me about something kind of cool that's going to be happening tomorrow, which I'm very excited about. But we'll start off with a quick update from Three Eyes Mug. Hey, 30,000 subscribers. Congrats on that milestone. It's funny, only watched Battle for Niche Internet Fame for the first time last week, and already the 30,000 subscribers is. And to be honest, I took this screenshot a couple of days ago, and they're already nearly at 31k. So flipping onwards and upwards for that channel, and more power to them too, because I know this, BFNIF, there we go, is really fun and does deserve all of the love it's getting, and I am really excited to see where they go next. But congrats on 30k, that's awesome. So let's get straight into the new episode of something that came out last week. Yes, it is Inanimate Insanity Season 4, Episode 3, Run the Risk. Before we say anything about the episode, though, I will do my usual thing and say, spoiler warning, here be spoilers. If you have not gotten around to watching Run the Risk yet, and you don't want to know anything that happens in the episode, or even anything that happened in the episode before, this is me just saying, you can just skip on to the next chapter at this point. It's fine. Once you've watched Run the Risk, pop on back though and have a listen to what my thoughts are on what happened in this episode. But yeah, quick, go if you don't want to be spoiled. Go. Okay, I think we're good to go now. So we do pick up immediately where episode 2 left off, because obviously we got left on a cliffhanger, so we kind of need to go straight back to that scene. So that's after Jack's little outburst almost ended with test tube dying. My big heart in mouth moment, and I feel like there might be more than one of those in this season. It's not going to be all fun and games, even though it is meant to be all fun and games. It's definitely not going to be. So Jack he says, I got caught up in the moment, and, it was an accident, and look, doesn't that just prove that I need the competition to learn and grow and change? Doesn't that just kind of prove my point, prove the whole point that Fan was trying to make? It's a pretty compelling argument, isn't it?
Absolutely not. You're a danger to society. Time to stand trial.
Yeah, but no, Fan does not agree. And to be honest, I'll be straight up honest here. I actually thought Fan was going to go, oh, fine, you've got a good point. It did seem for a second he was going to lean that way, but I think because it was Test Tube who was in danger of dying, I think that's probably what made Fan go, You don't hurt my test tube. Pretty sure that's why. So anyway, the OSC are obviously mortified by what happened and demanded that the game be stopped. It's like, nope, see, this is exactly what was said was going to happen. This can't go on. It just can't. But Test Tube, funny enough, is the one that comes to Jack's defense, explaining that Jack's personality was already the way it was when the game started, and that the game can actually help. He can't grow unless he's allowed to stay in the game. If the game ends, then what's going to change? Jack's still going to be who Jack is. We can mold him into a nicer person in society. That kind of argument. Well, OJ does quickly ask if Jack is the only contestant who's had a violent outburst. As we cut to Teddy Bear and Cammy having a good old argument outside of the window, Fan quickly goes, yeah, no, all the other ones have been totally manageable. It's interesting, though, at this point when Fan does say, no, it's totally fine, everyone else is fine. Test Tube's the one that kind of goes, yeah, just say it's fine, right? This could be paving the way for more characters to kind of blow their tops during the season. I mean, we know Teddy's got a short fuse. Obviously, Cammy, as well, is prone to argue with people who disagree. So, listen, this is the only way to convince the OSC to keep the game going. And again, this is the whole point of the show. If the game ends, then we don't have a show. Well, we could. I would totally watch these characters just interacting with each other in an everyday sense without there needing to be a contest. but the way the contest was brought into this season, I still think it was a clever idea. And I'm still interested to see where it's going to go. And these character interactions have been really cool, and I'm really looking forward to seeing more of those. We'll get to some more of those in this episode very soon. Anyway, Suitcase announces that she's going to observe the contest now. She's going to ensure safety rules are being followed, and she's going to make a decision on whether the game can continue or not. So, head back outside with the contestants, and it's time to make teams. The classic. We were waiting for this to happen. It wasn't just going to be a completely solo individual players, each doing their own thing kind of a game. So it is time to make teams. And they're going to be decided based on the points the contestants received in the previous challenge. So that's to avoid any players feeling left out for being picked last, and to avoid a completely random decision. So it's like there is some basis for it, but it's out of the player's hands and it's out of Fate's hands. It's just purely based on points. Although Microphone does point out that MePhone did the exact same thing in Season 2, perhaps. That could be the first little hint, by the way, that Fan might start leaning into more how MePhone used to run the show. It would make for an interesting twist if Fan starts getting a bit power crazy, a little bit power mad. Starts going, no, it's my game and I do what I want. And we're going to do that. I don't know. Listen, I'm just trying to think of paths the story could go down. One of the potentials is Fan just like getting a bit over controlling about things. We know Fan is a big fan of Inanimate Insanity, so he wants to do whatever he can to make it good, even if that means perhaps stepping outside of the boundaries a little bit. Maybe not. I don't know. It's just a thought. We'll see. Anyway, the team choices start. Well, not the choices. The teams start being announced, and Microphone is the first one selected on the red team. And then we have a few interesting moments between Soap and Taco here.
For Team Red, we have Microphone.
Just going to throw it out there. If I'm not on Microphone's team, I'm not playing.
Nice. Are you going for the world record in codependence?
Now that wouldn't be right. It's all Pepper has.
Hey, hope this works out.
And by work out, you mean us not being on the same team, don't you?
No, I was just being nice.
Oh, sorry.
And finally, that leaves, yes indeed, Taco on the red team. And for the record, that's how it shook out before you threatened to quit. I do not reward threats.
It wasn't a threat. It was a promise. I don't use threats anymore.
And if you say she does, ooh, then you're in trouble.
Now, we didn't really see much of them interacting when they were kind of like, when they decided to join the game and they were together, the three of them. It's like, oh, maybe they're a nice little friend group there. But it looks like that's going to be tested. Like Taco and Soap kind of both vying and fighting for Microphone's attention here, perhaps. It's very intriguing, and it's going to be really interesting to see how this dynamic works out as it goes on. But like, they do end up on the same team as each other. So that's going to be interesting to see if one turns on the other at some point. Because of the whole, whichever team is up for this is, how this works generally. Whichever team is the one that loses a challenge, they have to vote to eliminate a team member. There's definitely that's got potential for there to be a rift building here, and Soap and Taco might try and vote each other out at one point. I can definitely see that happening. It's like Taco and Mike obviously have a solid relationship going on. We see that quite frequently, but Soap isn't keen on Taco, but still wants to hang out with Mike. There's definitely something there. That's definitely a path that the story's going to go down. I don't think that's just a theory. I think that's just being set up immediately right in front of our eyes there. Anywho, if we head back to earlier in the team creations now, Poppy's the first up for the yellow team. Jokingly asks if anyone's going to quit the game if they're not on their team, and B-Tag puts their hand up. She's like super cute. It's like, oh, friends. So it does look like Poppy's made, one friend. Even though that'll raise suspicions already for the people who are already paranoid about Poppy, and we know one of the specific characters I'm talking about there. Yeah. Pepper is then revealed to be on Magnet's team, and Magnet is very enthusiastic about this. Magnet is super keen on winning Pepper over. I think Magnet is really kind of maybe a little bit fascinated by the way that Pepper's resilient to her magnetic personality. And like, I think she just wants to try and win her over. She wants to be like, this is like a challenge for Magnet, because people usually just fall straight in behind her and like, yeah, Magnet, woo, you know, and Pepper's just totally fought against that. And it's definitely because of the whole Pepper being a follower for so long and following just Salt all over the place. Pepper's in this to find themselves and discover who they actually are, you know, because they've always just been Salt's sidekick, right? So it's going to be really, really fun to see this Magnet keep on trying to win Pepper over, and Pepper being like, no. I love it. I kind of hope that friendship does develop, but at the same time that Magnet learns that it's not just about getting everybody to like you, because you're used to that being the case. I hope this season is meant to be about growth, and the whole point of the contest is characters actually figure out who they are and stuff. So I really, really hope that is part of it. I hope so. That's kind of what they said the show was about. So, anyway, we'll see how that one goes, but it was super fun. Lightbulb's obsession with being team captain comes into play, because Lightbulb is so used to being captain of a team, and she just keeps mentioning it over and over again. It's just, I want to throw that out there because it was a funny little aspect of the episode. It's just like, I don't know, like Lightbulb like, doesn't want to make a big deal out of anything, but also clearly still wants to be team captain, and that's another thing to maybe keep an eye on as the season goes on. She kind of self-appoints herself the captain of her team. I don't know where that's going to go, but it's really funny to me. After the teams are all settled, Candle does note that her team is short one member, and that would have been the spot Jack would have taken if he hadn't been eliminated. But, you know, that's just the way the numbers add up, I guess. But Jack does have the option to assist a team, so he is still allowed in the game. He is still handcuffed, though, at this point. His arms are still very much behind his back. And so he's like, they're definitely still keeping a close eye on him. He does say he's weighing his options. So we'll see. He's like, yeah, well, we'll see. I'll choose it. Maybe I'll assist a team. Maybe I won't. It's also interesting how he gets to choose the time he picks which team to assist, right? It's like maybe you should have had to pick a team straight away or not at all, but they clearly just give him a bit more time. Teddy then rants about not being with Spiky and also being the only newbie on her team, but Cherry tries to reassure her and says, look, you're playing with a bunch of losers. That helps. That perks Teddy up. So anyway, the teams are set. So we have Candle, Magnet, Pepper, Cheesy, and Cammy on the blue team. We've got Microphone, Taco, Tea Kettle, Cherries, Soap, and Teddy Bear on the red team. Just want to make a quick note about Mike and Taco looking at each other there in that screenshot. Very, very cute. Lightbulb, Tapey, Paper, Starfruit, Meatag, and Poppy on the yellow team. And Box, Bonesaw, Spiky, Life Ring, and Trophy on the green team. Very, very interesting collection of characters there. Trophy then makes a crass joke about stabbing people in the back when Fan talks about having each other's backs, which is very, very Trophy-ish, but Fan's like, that's a little bit morbid, and Trophy's like, look, I'm just joking around because you were in it on a bit thick, and then Fan's like, oh, okay, cool, thanks, and Trophy says, I got you, bro, and I'm like, hey, you know, I'm interested to seeing where Trophy goes this season too, because all we really saw of Trophy was like, big old jerk. That's pretty much it. And it's like that wasn't much of an opportunity for Trophy to have any growth either. And that leads back into the whole point of the season, characters having a chance to actually, you know, figure themselves out whilst taking part in a competition, right? So we start with a mini challenge where contestants have to create a team name that incorporates the first letter of every team member's name. Other letters can be added. As Fan notes, a team is more than the sum of its parts, which I really like that line. I really enjoyed that one. It's like, that's very true. It's there's more to it than that. Cool little line. Loved it. To win, teams have to come up with the shortest possible team name that's also applicable to the team. So you've got to make yourself, it's got to be connected to your team, or at least make some kind of sense to the team. So yeah, there was lots of fun little discussions between the teams as they try to come up with names. My favorite moment, though, is Microphone suggesting statistic for her team. And then Taco says, yeah, but then you left yourself out of that word. And Microphone goes, why must I be so selfless? Taco says, well, that always was your problem. a call back to season 2 when Mike quit the show because she was feeling guilty because Taco was helping her behind the scenes and she just couldn't anymore. So she took herself out of the competition. This is a fun little moment, that one. Pepper also has a breakthrough moment, coming up with the word circumspect for her team, which obviously means being cautious. And like her as a character has always played it safe and cautious and just kind of been Salt's follower. But it also fits because being cautious and safe is kind of the whole point of this season, because everyone's got to be careful now because death is permanent. Look, we've said this before. So it also, it plays into Suitcase, who is also, presiding over this challenge. So it's a super winner of a name, that one. And Pepper also gets some praise from Magnet for that name too.
Aha! My whole life has built up to this moment. All this time being wary to do anything Salt didn't approve of, I was being circumspect.
Wow, one word, and it literally means being unable to take risks. How's that for safety?
Oh, Pepper, you're a genius!
And with that, the mini challenge is over. Everyone has themselves a name. Circumspect is the only one we actually know when the challenge ends, so the rest are going to be a fun old surprise. The red team have gone with Thematic Cats. Teddy doesn't seem super enthused about that name, by the way. Probably didn't have much input on that one, or maybe vetoed it, but everybody else said, yeah, no, that's cool. It's a very fun musical reference, and we know II loves its songs, so kind of sneaking in a little bit of a musical thing there, which I really, really enjoyed. The green team come up with Go Big or Be Last. Definitely on the longer side, but kind of catchy, I suppose. The yellow team have gone with Heavy Metal Pop Stars. Starfruit's on that team. And yeah, I guess that's probably where most of that idea came from. But it doesn't really seem like none of the teams got the memo about the name needing to be the smallest to win. But Heavy Metal Pop Stars is a cool name. But so then we finally head on over to the blue team so that Pepper can announce the winning name.
Tell him, Pepper. Well, I realized the perfect name would be
Circumspect! Woohoo! Go, Pepper!
Oh my goodness! One word, only 11 characters, and it's all about exercising caution. What do you think, Suitcase?
Gotta say, I feel successfully pandered to.
Team Circumspect win!
Magnet could steal Pepper's thunder instead, I suppose. So close to a breakthrough there. Magnet was so, proud of Pepper for coming up with that name. It's like, oh, this could be the start of the breakthrough. No, she couldn't resist being the one that shouted the name out. Although she did still say, yay, Pepper, after she said it. But, it was Pepper's moment. Let Pepper say the team name. Oh, well. The blue team is then treated to the prize, where back in Test Tube's lab, it's revealed that she's tapped into TV signals from the outside world, outside of the little place they were stuck during the Me Phone days. So Cammy has to watch some cartoons, which they do briefly, but then we get some staticky stuff and the channel changes, and we see a very interesting broadcast.
We interrupt this program with some breaking news.
Oh no, it's a silhouette. I can't tell how attractive they are.
We're receiving reports of the continuation of the controversial competition Inanimate Insanity, which has previously been correlated with the mysterious death of Meeple CEO Steve Cobbs. Not only do they have the nerve to not broadcast this season, but audience members no longer have any say in deciding who is eliminated.
Yeah, this is fun. This could lead to this could be hinting at potential outside interference in this season's contest. Because that broadcast was saying well, I have the audacity to not show this one live, and we don't see who the newsreader is. It's just the silhouette. That's also interesting. Definitely hints that we will see that character at some point. Surely, it's weird. Why would you silhouette them like that? Unless you just didn't want us to know who it was. Maybe their appearance gives us a hint as to who they are, who they maybe work for or something. It's either that, it could just be a fun little reference to back when viewers were in control when it came to eliminations back in the early days of the show. Or, viewers used to be in charge of who won immunity as well, because whoever got the most votes was generally safe, obviously they scrapped all of that in the end, and it became purely just because they had such a fixed story in mind, and certain characters had to stick around for that story to work. So I do understand why they took that route. And I do actually just like it as a standalone show where we don't have any input. I know that is a big fun part of object shows for a lot of people, but I honestly like just them getting to tell the story they want to tell without characters being yanked out of it unexpectedly. I know you can write around. You can write around eliminations that are voted for by the viewers, but I appreciate what they're doing, and I'm like, it's their show, so it's like there's not really any argument anyway. But anyway, who knows if that's just a fun little reference to that, or if there is going to be something else about that broadcast later on. It was a fun little moment either way. But then Cheesy has a little moment where he remembers how weird it was to know that you were being watched, but Magnet's upset because she didn't get the chance to compete when that was happening, because she wants all eyes on her, of course. So that was a fun little interaction as well. Fannin says it doesn't matter anyway that they don't have any viewers, because they're doing this contest for themselves, not for the fans, which causes him to have a little mini kind of meltdown and a moment of realization when he just mentioned it's not for the fans. And of course, that's what he is. Anyway, he manages to shake himself off and reset himself to continue with the show, but he does have a little, I'm just gonna forget I said that. Anyway, we go back outside, and Fan and Test Tube do ask Jack now which team he has decided to help, and he reveals that he's going to assist Team Circumspect, since they are down a member. But, yeah, you know, Suka sees through that story immediately and says, no, you only picked that team because they won the mini-challenge. And Jack goes, okay, fair enough, you got me. You got me. But, you know, there's still time. There's still lots of time for Jack. Honestly, personally, my own personal jury in my brain is still very much out on Jack and still not at all sure where he's going to go. But hey, this is only episode 3. There's still so much time, and there's still so much opportunity for this show to go places and take characters places. We are still very early days here. So, Fan then announces what the challenge is, and it's a 5-part marathon featuring running, rock climbing, a maze, rope swing, and kart driving.
Okay, for the first official Team Immunity Challenge, it's all about safety and trust. This is a multi-leg race.
What if you don't have legs?
A multi-part race, where each of the 5 parts will have 2 contestants representing each team, one blindfolded and one not. Upon completing each part of the race, the blindfolded contestant will remove their blindfold to guide the next blindfolded contestant. Whichever team guides each other to the end last will be up for elimination.
I like those odds. So technically, every other team wins?
They all get immunity, but you only get a point if your team comes in first, Jack.
You heard it, team. We can't settle for anything less than first place.
Well, we can. You cannot.
Oh, wow, Candle. Cold stuff for someone who has a literal burning flame on top of their head. But honestly, personally, I think that's what Jack deserves after the last episode. It's like, yeah, you know what? We don't need to come first to be safe from elimination, but you need us to come first so you can get a point on the board for the eliminated contestants. So, yeah, we don't have to put as much effort in if we don't want to. Interesting to see if that becomes a tactic, actually, on some teams' part. Because the eliminated contestants can assist a team and try and get points if that team wins. But if that team doesn't like who's assisting them, they could totally go hold back a little bit and just come second or third. Yeah, that is another little interesting thing that might happen. We'll see. And also, Jack, like I said, has time to come around. Early days yet. And you know me, I'm all about redemption arcs. But Jack has a lot of redeeming to do. Look, he nearly killed one of my favorite characters. That's going to take a lot for me to forgive, okay? So in the first event, the running, Team Circumspect, which is Pepper being led by Cammy, wins. They go straight out into the front. Pepper just saying she's an expert at following blindly. Again, another reference to her being tied to Salt. But I really hope she does get more chances to be like herself this season. She's getting there. The fact that she's brushing Magnet off all the time is showing that she's trying to be independent, which is awesome. That's a good start. Next up is the maze. And Microphone, another little callback here, tries to use the same tactic she did in the maze episode in season 2 with Taco. It doesn't work out though. Microphone just immediately smacks into a bush. So, oh well, better luck next time, I guess. Team Circumspect come out of the maze, still in the lead, but Heavy Metal Pop Stars are hot on their heels. So we have a rope swing next. Goo is the blindfolded contestant in this one for Team Go Big or Be Last. And Trophy's like, I don't know how you're going to be able to do this. You're going to rope swing over some water. Well, going to be fun. Team Circumspect remain in the lead after this event. Thematic Cats now sneak into second place with a soggy taco. She may or may not have fallen into the water doing the rope swing. Cherries puts Thematic Cats into the lead as well at the rock climb event by having surprisingly stretchy legs. That was super unexpected, and I've just got to give a shout out here to Taco's reaction to Cherry doing that. Definitely got the biggest laugh of the episode out of me that moment. Very unexpected, but very funny. And then also at the rock climbing wall, we have a curious interaction between Magnet and Cheesy.
Oh, I wish I could see myself doing this.
Ooh, want me to take your picture?
You'd really stop the challenge just to indulge me? Pepper would never do that.
And she really is hung up on Pepper not liking her. And like, that's definitely going to be one of the other dynamics we see a lot of. We're definitely going to see Soap, Taco, and Microphone, Magnet, and Pepper. There's a lot of other characters who are going to definitely have. I feel like we'll see some Cheesy and Candle moments too, because Cheesy and Candle had like some fun interactions already as well. So I think we'll see more of that. But there's a lot. There's Starfruit and Lightbulb as well. Had some interesting chit chats in this episode. There's a whole bunch of stuff. And there's a whole bunch of characters who are going to have some awesome story arcs, I'm very sure. So then we come to the final event, which is the kart race. Cherries and Tea Kettle are the first to get started for Thematic Cats, while Magnet puts Jack in the driver's seat and notices there's an extra brake on her side. So she can slow the cart down if they're in danger of crashing. All about safety, right? You got to impress Suitcase. But Jack scoffs at that idea, though, and says they have to be fast to finish first. And then we get this.
And relax, there's another brake on my side, so if we do go too fast, I can stop us just in case.
You so much as glance in the general direction of that brake, then you might as well just give up now. We need to be first!
Hey, no one talks to me that way except Pepper.
Huh. Wait, what? Nobody talks to me that way except Pepper. It's an interesting sentence. And maybe I was like, does Magnet like it? Does Magnet kind of like having someone that doesn't like it? I don't know. It was interesting. It was an interesting sentence. And that's going to make the Magnet-Pepper dynamic even more interesting going forwards. God, honestly, it's going to be really fun. Anyway, Thematic Cats and Go Big or Be Last are the first two teams to complete the challenge. Well, they're safe. So at this point, though, two teams have already finished, and it's only now that Metag turns up to pull Poppy in to do the cart part. But it doesn't go well at all, because Metag can't give directions, doesn't speak, and Poppy's blindfolded. I mean, they try to give directions, but grabbing one of Poppy's hands to indicate like which way to turn, but that means they're not focused on hitting the brakes, and the car's zooming forwards, so they just crash straight into a barrier. Jack and Magnet crawl their way to the finish line because Jack keeps pushing the accelerator, Magnet keeps pushing the brakes, so they kind of stop, start, and do get over the line, so they are safe, but Jack doesn't get a point because the team didn't finish first, but the team does win immunity. Heavy Metal Pup Stars are therefore up for elimination. Oh, all right, and we got straight to the elimination. As Bot hands the results, the voting results over to Fan, we get a little moment.
Hey, when we get to the scoreboard, can I just handle that myself? I don't think I should lift test tube up in the air again.
Of course, Spot.
But you know what happened last time wasn't your fault, right?
Of course! Just trying to be safe. On theme for today.
Yeah, they seem worried and upset still about what happened in the last episode. I mean, unsurprisingly, Bot does view Test Tube and Fan as like their parents. I mean, they did create them, so I mean, obviously that's how they feel. I just wonder if that could be also sowing some seeds going forwards. Maybe like Bot doesn't want to take part as an assistant in the show anymore because worried about the danger, or something else. I don't know. It definitely feels like there's something there. Bot's really worried, and that's not going to just be glossed over. That's definitely going to go somewhere. I just don't really know where. We'll see. But But nobody spun the wheel. The one where, you know, if you land on it, I can't remember the colours. I already forgot. I believe I forgot, but my memory's terrible. But one of the spaces means you're like safe from immunity. But either way, and your vote doesn't count and all that kind of stuff. But no one spun that one this time, so we can go straight to reading the results out. And I mean, long story short, Metag's the one that gets voted out. But Lightbulb does get 2 votes though, so Lightbulb was closer. I wonder who voted. I wonder who voted for Lightbulb. Possibly Metag and Poppy. I don't know. But either way, Poppy's infuriated about this elimination because some teammates seem to think that Metag didn't hit the brake on purpose, like some kind of like self-sabotage on the team.
What? Do you think this was some kind of sabotage? That's ridiculous! These suspicions are never gonna end, are they? You're all so sure you know someone that you can't see them for who they really are. Right, Metag?
Hey, why are you running? Oh no, I knew the day would come they'd return. The paparazzi! Flee, flee! Cover your marketable faces!
Well now, what do we make of that? Why did Metag grab Poppy and run when the accusations started flying? Is there a sinister reason? You know, is Metag working, taking orders from someone that we don't know about? Like somebody else at Meeple? I mean, you would assume that Cobbs had an assistant or had a vice president of the company or something, right? I mean, that could also lead into the broadcast we saw in the episode. It's either, you know, maybe that's it. Maybe Metag is working for someone at Meeple. Or maybe Metag just wants to try and protect Poppy from everyone who doesn't believe that they're not a threat. Maybe Metag's like, well, Poppy's not going to be able to win these people over, and I'm really worried about them, so I'm going to pull them away and just keep them safe. That could also be it. I mean, whatever it is, we won't find out until the next episode, clearly. I just want to quickly give a shout out to Starfruit's line in that clip, though, about the paparazzi turning up. It kind of lightened the mood a little bit on what was like another big cliffhanger. I mean, this is a bigger cliffhanger than the last episode because we know that we knew the test tube was safe before the last episode ended. If the episode had finished with test tube still falling, now that would have been a cliffhanger and a half. But because that was a meetup episode, I guess they didn't want to do that. Even though they gave the Poppy cliffhanger at the end of episode 1, I can see why they didn't leave the test tube still falling as a cliffhanger. Because it would have been a great cliffhanger actually. You know what? If they'd been brave enough, that would have been something. Okay, sorry, I waffled about that way more than I was meant to. I thought it was another really solid episode. It is, again, I mentioned this last time, it's a bit of a shame that we didn't get to see any of the characters who aren't taking part in the contest. We did see the OSC, we saw OJ, Suitcase, and Cabby, but we didn't see really like anybody else again. And there's like so much potential there to see what they're all up to now and again. It's like it would be nice to just have some mini episodes with them in, or maybe them interacting with the contestants, because they're not meant to be separated. Fans said that specifically. There's no separation between the contestants, the eliminated contestants, and everyone else. I do hope we get them involved at some point, right? I hope that does become a thing. Again, it's only episode 3. We're still early in the season. I mean, the seasons are usually, they usually round up to nearly 20 episodes, so we've got lots of time. I just do hope we see more of that. Like, I want to see some of my faves. I want to see some baseball and nickel and balloon, and I want to see some. Listen, this is on me. I just want to see some more Paper and OJ interactions, and that's me. And there's so many other characters, right? I get it. There's lots of other people's favorite characters who we're not seeing right now. We haven't seen any of Bo or Marshmallow or Apple or any of them. So hopefully they do get them in at some point. But again, for what it is, I really enjoy it. I really enjoy all the characters. I love all the new characters. I love all of the characters who took part before, who are taking part in this contest. I love Fan as a host. I still think things are going to crumble around him at some point, but he's really fun to watch as a host. And now that we've got established teams as well, and we've seen some of the relationships and the interactions building up, I think we're in for a great season. I really do. So kudos again, everyone on the AnimationEpic team. Really good episode, really fun, really enjoyed it. And roll on episode 4. But we are not done with the AnimationEpic updates quite yet. the episode update was the big one, but they also did post this not long ago at all, actually. So they are asking the fans which plushie should we bring back and which new one should we make next. Super exciting, super exciting. Gotta say, Ruby, my kiddo, have I said? I think I've only ever said my kiddo. I don't think I've ever said their name before. Ruby voted for Taco to come back and voted for... Oh gosh, I forgot who they voted for the new plush. Oh, well, I know I'm going to vote for Bot to come back, and I'm going to vote for Paper to be made as plush. I don't know how that's going to work, but I want a Paper plush. I probably won't get my wish, but that's who I voted for. But anyway, the poll is open. I will post a link to it in the description if you want to go and vote on that yourselves. I think this is kicking around because, as they also say in the post, the partnership with Creator Inc. ended. So they're sorting out because they're going to have to switch their merch from that shipper to another one. I don't know if this has anything to do with that partnership ending, but I did order the Inanimate Insanity hooded blanket back in March, and it only just arrived middle of this month, September. So it took like 6 months for that order to be fulfilled. But Creator Inc. were really communicative, though. Every time I reached out to check on things, they did respond really quickly. But maybe there was a bit of lack of clarity from some angles. Maybe that was it. Maybe it was always just a fixed term contract they had with them, and they were just like, right, well, we're going to find somebody else. I don't know, but that blanket taking 6 months to arrive, maybe a lot of people had big delays in stuff getting to them, so maybe that's why. I've ordered a couple of things through Creator Inc. though, and like the other things arrived pretty quick. So I don't know. I don't want to try and assume what happened there, but either way, they're going to look for somebody new to shift their merch. And it's exciting to know they're going to bring a plush back and we've got a new one on the go. So we'll wait and see. That's obviously not going to happen immediately because they've got to set stuff up. So we'll see. Maybe a couple months' time, we'll find out who won those polls, and those plushies will be getting ready to go out. Yay, more for Ruby's collection / my collection. I definitely claim some of the plushies myself. Okay, over to Centrifuger now, and I mentioned in the last episode that Sentry was having issues getting the channel monetized. It has been resolved. As we see, got to contact with YouTube, finally managed to regain my money. It was monetized. They lost the monetization, sorry. So it's been remonetized, but it took a whole day of pushing and prodding and really making a noise, and posting a video about how sucky YouTube is, and like says thank you for all the support. Not going to take down the video because I do still believe that YouTube is a very flawed platform that needs to take accountability for the lack of solid customer support unless provoked. And it definitely feels like unless you're a flipping one of the massive creators that really brings in the big bucks for them, they don't really pay attention. And that is a shame. And I know there's lots and lots of users on YouTube. Listen, don't get me wrong. There's bloody so many channels and so many people out there. But just be better. Everybody does deserve the same footing. And if a mistake's been made, YouTube should be better at fixing this stuff quicker. They've got to figure it out. They make enough money. They could afford to do this properly, surely. But anyway, looking forward to be able to have a somewhat stable income. Let's go, boys. And it's like, yes. And like, I still want to support too, in any way I can. So, yeah, I will be doing so. But at least the YouTube issue sorted. That's good. It is frustrating it took so much work, but yay. So Sentry monetization has returned. Hell yeah. And I think, I don't know, listen, I wasn't going to mention this, but there's lots of people joking about the Rapture again. It was meant to happen again the other day. And Sentry did post a jokey thing about that, saying, oh geez, people off getting raptured the week before Tripwire 3 comes out. And I was like, looking at that going, does that mean Tripwire 3 is coming out next week? Does that mean Tripwire 3 is next week? Keep your eyes open, everybody. We might be getting Tripwire 3 next week. I don't know. It could have just been a throwaway line. I don't know. It could have just been seeing if people took the bait on that one. Because, well, I mean, I just did. So if that was the case, then it worked. But keep a lookout because we might get that. It's okay. I've got my notification set up. I'll be good. But yeah, we'll see. That would be really interesting if that dropped next week. I don't know if I'm mentally prepared, but I'll try to be. Super quick update on derpadon. New profile picture. That's pretty much it. I really like it. It's cool. It's funky. Alright, over to FusionAnimations now, and Object Invasion has celebrated its 1 year anniversary. It's a year old. Look at all of those legends in that picture. Yay. That cake meant to be the same design as Cakey there. It looks like it, doesn't it? Anyway, congrats, Fusion. It's been an awesome year of shows in Object Invasion. Obviously, I haven't been around for the full year because I'm still new around these parts. But Object Invasion is one heck of a show. I am really excited for the Lockvasion crossover, which will be coming sometime in autumn. And actually, you know, I am tying Wuggolo into the Fusion update because of the crossover event. So Wuggolo also did post something about Object Lockdown 14, which I thought was interesting. And yes, you have to see this picture of Grassy and Burry again. I'm sorry. Object Lockdown 14 will be the end of Object Lockdown Act 1. Call it a mid-season finale. A celebration of peak. Like the GIF below. Yes, it was a GIF. It was them kissing GIF again. I think Wuggolo is just any excuse to post that GIF at this point. I wouldn't be surprised if Wuggolo used this in every single update for the next forever. But yeah, it's interesting. It's a mid-season finale. So, and I'm wondering if that's also got something to do with the fact that there is the Lockvasion crossover. So I do wonder if the next episode of Object Invasion is also going to be kind of a mid-season finale. These characters are going to run into each other. There's going to be a storyline building around it. I threw my little idea out that satellite that fell from the sky in Object Lockdown 13 was Snowflakes' broadcast satellite. And it had been, it had been tampered with by Sign and Ball in the last episode of Object Invasion. I feel like that's it. And the satellite lands where the Object Lockdown contestants are competing, or around that area. So the Object Invasion peak, that might be the next challenge. Get the satellite so it can be repaired, and bam, they bump it anyway. I don't want to throw out tons and tons of things because I could invariably be wrong. But sometimes I've got to be brave, right? And just throw these ideas out. And if they're wrong, they're wrong. I mean, I'm wrong so much all the time anyway, so I don't know why it should bother me. But anyway, that's going to make the Lockvasion crossover event very interesting if Old 14 is a mid-season finale. Just makes me anticipate it even more. Huh. And also, if that does mean that Object Invasion's also going to have the kind of the same deal, like they all have a break, a mid-season finale for both shows, that could lead into maybe Fusion releasing more of the Daily Object Show remastered episodes, because I believe they were all scheduled to already be out, but they were put on the back burner a bit. So maybe Fusion goes back to those and puts some of those out over the kind of rest of autumn/winter. Again, just thinking out loud here, but that could also be potentially what happens, because I know they're still scheduled to come out at some point, so that could happen. Either way, we'll find out. All right, over to Jack and Jellyfy now, and it has been revealed that TPOT 20 will be released on YouTube on October the 17th, which is the day after the theater screenings. That's exactly what I said last week. I was saying, I hope it's not a long gap. I was like, I hope it's the day after, or at least I hope it's not more than a week after, and it is going to be the day after, which is great. That means all you have to do is avoid socials for like a day. I know that actually sounds impossible in some regards. I will be doing my best to avoid all of the spoilers. I've been really good. I've avoided spoilers pretty well so far. So it's good to know. And it's like, when this announcement was first made, I was like, oh, that's loads of time away from now. That gives me loads of time to prep and get ready, because I feel like TPOT 20 is going to be a big episode, like a long episode. Like, got loads of time. But now it's already the 27th of September by the time you're seeing this. I'm like, shoot, that's like only 2 and a bit weeks now. That's only 2 and a bit weeks away. I mean, 3, pushing 3-ish weeks. Like, that's going to fly over. I don't know if I'm going to be ready. Doesn't matter what the case is. I don't know if I'm going to be ready for this. It's going to be huge. I don't know whether this, and again, I've said, I don't know if it's going to warrant an entire episode to itself. For me talking about it, I don't know. Or am I going to have to try and condense my thoughts more? I am bad at condensing my thoughts. I talk too much. Actually, I hope I don't talk too much. Because otherwise, I talk too much. But I like every thought I have, I just don't want to leave any of my little thoughts out. And when I'm rounding up an episode, it's like, well, I don't want to leave too much of the story out. I've got to make sure I hit all the pertinent points. TPOT 20 is huge. If it's huge, there's going to be so many pertinent points. And I mean, since it's doing a theater release and it sounds like it's going to be a big episode, this storyline with 1 has to be wrapped up, right? This is going to also feel like, is this going to be like a TPOT mid-season finale too? And as they kind of reset back to the contest in 21 after they've done whatever they need to do in this episode? I don't know. But it's definitely going to be big. But of course, Jack and Jelfie does what they usually do as well when there's big things coming up. They decide, oh, hey, let's drop some merch on people while we're at it. There's a new lamp out. There's a ruby lamp. Had to be ruby, didn't it? I need to buy it now for my ruby. It's like it's just written in stone that I have to do that. Can I just say how much I love the design of this lamp? Look at her. Look at it. I love Ruby. Ruby's such an awesome character. But that's not the only thing we got, though. We also got another puzzle, and it's a BFB one. 500-piece BFB puzzle. I'm like, dang it. I haven't bought the other puzzle. That's some of the things we haven't bought when it comes. We've got a lot of plushies. We've got a fiery lamp. We've got a pin here and there. We've got some posters. But I haven't bought any of the puzzles. Or there's the poster you can get. I haven't bought any of that stuff, but the puzzles are tempting now. I'm like, oh, I kind of want to get both puzzles. And I want to do that thing where you get the puzzle and you finish it, and then you frame it, because you can turn it into a poster then, right, once you've finished it. So I might... darn you guys! Why you do this to me? It's not fair. Anyway, new J&J merch is out. All right, over to Krispifishh now, who's done a few little other posts over on their page. They posted some more artwork. I love this. There's something really just... There's something I really like about those kind of neon color backgrounds, just the neon coloring. I just really enjoy it. And every time Crispy posts something, I'm just like, it's more Crispy art. And I just, every time, like, yes, I love it. And Crispy has also got a new, well, you've already seen it here, but Crispy also has a new PFP as well. It's their sauna, which is based on, I love this, by the way, based on a crab magnifying glass I had when I was very young. That's adorable. I can just picture crab magnifying glass in my head as well, and it's lovely. It's like, I just really like it when people share stuff like this. You know, like some channels, just the only posts they share are like either posting merch or sharing a video they uploaded recently, like a new episode of things. You know, and so I really like these kind of more off the cuff posts that people do. I just really enjoy seeing it, and Crispy does it pretty often, and I just want to say I really appreciate it, and I hope it continues, and I hope more people do it because I really enjoy it. It maintains that communication and interaction with people. Like, that's why I do quite a few YouTube posts as well. It's like, 'cause I don't get videos up very often. It's like once a week, maybe sometimes 2 a week. So it's like I'll post in between that just to be like, hey, here's what I'm up to. I just like it. It just keeps people going, oh, cool. We've been doing that. Okay, let's go over to MationsBomb now, and the writing is done for Orbit 3. Yeah. House doesn't like blueberries. That's also the news. If you didn't notice, House doesn't like blueberries. Or maybe just doesn't want one at this moment in time. But, you know, yeah, go and update the wiki. Go and update House's wiki. House hates blueberries. Yeah, better make sure you do that. That's super important to put in there. But yeah, the writing's done, and it's not long after Centrifuger announced that they were helping out with, like, on the writing team as well. It's like, hell yeah. Good stuff. Feels like quick work. But, I mean, the writing, it doesn't feel like that long since Orbit 2 came out. It doesn't. We only talked about Orbit 2 a couple of weeks ago. So for the writing to be done in episode 3 already, and I know some people write stuff out ahead. I mean, you've got to have the general overall story, I guess, thought out beforehand. But this feels like it's been really sharp work. So congrats everybody on getting that part done. On to the next stages. I mean, obviously, it doesn't mean the episode's going to be ready next week. It's like it's the writing. There's a whole bunch of work left to do, but writing's done. Orbit 3 is real, everybody. Orbit 3 is real. Hop on over to Raver now, and wonderful person directed me in the direction of a blog post that Raver wrote about Thursday. So you can head on over there. I will post the link in the description so you can go read this. So yeah, there's a whole page here of thoughts, inspirations, the process for making Thursday and its initial creation and everything. So yeah, you can head on over to that site, check out all the pictures as well from the development of it. And yeah, that was a really nifty thing. And I wouldn't have known about it if I hadn't been pointed in the right direction by somebody else, who I will actually be mentioning in this next little update here coming up. So yeah, this update is technically about snailvine. So I've been mentioning my charity streams for the Trevor Project this past month, and I did say in a couple of videos, like if anybody in the OSC wants to come and hang out and talk on the stream or something like that, then they're more than welcome. Last weekend, I got a message from Velvet Nell, who works on a few shows, does work on Lunchbox Kids, Tripwire, Flaws, and he said he wanted to help out anywhere he could with the stream itself, but also was like, and snailvine wants to maybe appear on the stream. And I was like, are you for real? Seriously? And lo and behold, before I know it, I am in a chat with Velvet and snailvine, and then before I know it, Cherry Potato, who also works on Lunchbox Kids and is a very close friend of snailvine, is also in the chat. And I'm like, okay, so this is happening. Snailvine is going to be on the stream on Sunday, and so is Cherry as well. And Cherry did this absolutely beautiful little piece of promo artwork. Sausage Roll is me. The Sausage Roll is my object show character, which you might have seen when we were talking about YouTube. When we talked about YouTube posts earlier, one of the ones I put was Ruby drew my Sausage Roll character for me. So I did post a picture of that in a YouTube post a while ago. So I posted that to Cherry, and Cherry was like, "Cool, do." This is just absolutely. I'm so excited. I am so excited that the stream tomorrow is going to have snailvine and Cherry in it, and I am really excited. We just had a little call last night, just to kind of break the ice and maybe just get to know each other. And it's like absolutely just the most wonderful people. We talked for like 3 hours. I was like, well, it might have just been like a 30-minute, 1 hour just to like get the audio, so I can get the audio level set up in my recording software and all that kind of stuff. We talked for 3 flipping hours about all kinds of stuff, and like they're so nice. Both of them. Velvet popped in as well and was like just not on mic, just typing in the chat and stuff. 3 amazing people. Thank you so much, so much for offering to help out with the stream and for coming on the stream. I'm sure we're going to have a blast tomorrow. So if you want to come and hang out over there, I will post my Twitch link as well in the description, so you can get yourself over there. It will be a long stream tomorrow. I'm going to be starting at 11 o'clock my time. I think that's like 10 o'clock Eastern time, I think. I don't know when all the clocks change and stuff, because it's that time of year nearly, isn't it? But anyway, I will be going for a good chunk of the day. Don't have a specific time when snailvine and Cherry are going to be on the stream. It's just kind of at their discretion and when they're ready to join. And I didn't want to try and super schedule everything to the minute. So they will be around at some point during the day. I just don't know exactly when. But I am really excited. I am over the moon that of all of all of the Object Show creators, I don't want to say gotten to know, because obviously I don't know them all personally, but the ones I have become aware of this year, for it to be Snailvine and Cherry, kind of winning the lottery, I swear. So anyway, if you do want to pop along and hang out, it'd be super awesome to have you over there. It is for the Trevor Project. We have raised more than $600. I am aiming for 1,000. It would be really nice if we could get there. If you can't make it to the stream but want to donate, I will also put another link to my Tiltify campaign for the Trevor Project in the description. So if you can't make it to the stream but want to help out, you can still donate through that. And everybody who does donate gets entered into a prize draw to win some Steam game keys. So that's also there. So make sure you let me know if you donate. If you don't want to be in the draw, because I don't want to put you in and then it's like, I'm not bothered to be in the draw. Just let me know. Anyway, that's awesome stuff. I'm so excited. And finally, over to WebzForevz Griffin, who posted the video that that he was saying he was going to post. It was making BFDI in Tomodachi Life. See, another funny little silly, goofy, creative video, and it's really fun. It's just silly. It's just silly fun, and like honestly, I love that Griffin posts these little videos. It's joyous. It's just nice to see people just being their goofy selves and not just seeing them for the animations that they work on. And I know not everybody's super comfortable doing stuff like that, but when people do it, I really enjoy watching it. Really, really fun. Really worth going to watch it. And also, the plush announcement, which I also mentioned in the last video, it's Gumball Machine. We're getting Gumball Machine plush. Oh, yes. Did I pre-order? Possibly. Maybe. Potentially. My lips are sealed. But yes, that's also the new plush that Griffin also mentioned was coming out. So yeah, lots of fun stuff happening over in the Webz world too. And 3.6 is being animated right now, so we've got some shows coming out soon. I can feel it. All right, and that's everything for this episode. Oh, jeez. Okay, another bulky one. I could just talk for days, couldn't I? But lots of interesting and exciting things happening, as per usual, in the OSC over this last week or so. Awesome times. Like I say, we could be seeing an episode of something next week. I don't know. Keep your eyes open. We'll see. We'll find out soon enough, I guess. And yes, as a final reminder, I'm streaming tomorrow. I'm going to be playing lots of community games as well. So come hang out if you can. It'd be super awesome to have you over there. But if you can't, no worries at all. Just have yourselves a fantastic weekend, everybody. Keep watching object shows, keep creating object shows, keep finding new object shows, and all the other stuff too. I'm not just saying object shows should be your only hobby, but it's what we're here for. Here in this space for, I mean. And yeah, love and appreciate you all. Take care of yourselves. And I will see you in, the next episode of this. Toodles!